Okay, so this is just kind of a summary of what we were talking about, putting it all together. So here's an example of a function that would have a vertical shift and a horizontal shift. That would be the form. Okay, so the parent function is just the b to the x. So you might want to graph that first. The vertical shift is going to be d. Now, if d is greater than 0, it's going to shift up. And if d is less than 0, it's going to shift down. And then the horizontal shift is c. If c is greater than 0, it's going to shift left. And if c is less than 0, it's going to shift to the right. Okay, so that's a little bit different than some of the quadratic transformations we were doing. But this is the form they've chosen, so we're going to support that. I mean, they could have written it x minus c, but they didn't. Okay. Where is the y-intercept? Well, think about plugging in 0 for x. What's f of 0? Well, it's going to be b to the c plus d. So your y-intercept is going to be at 0, comma, b to the c plus d, whatever that value is. The asymptote is going to be, remember your vertical shift, so it's going from 0 to whatever the vertical shift is. So y equals d. The domain is going to be all real numbers. But the range, you're going to have to go by that vertical shift. And so the range is going to be from d to infinity. Now, this is assuming there's no reflections. We'll talk about those in another video. Okay, so now here comes an example. We have a graph that they want us to graph here, f of x. And so what's the parent function? Well, the parent function would be 2 to the x. Now, we've been working with 2 to the x. It's one of our favorites because it fits on a fairly small grid pretty nicely. So, and this is a little big, so my graph paper. So it looks something like that, the exponential function. That would be g of x. Okay, now for our function, f of x, it's going to be that parent function, but it's going to shift left 1 left, and 3 down. Okay, and then we'll have to state the domain range in asymptote. So let's first graph it. So we want to pick these points up and go 3 to the left, 1 to the left, and 3 down. So let me scoot it up. 1 to the left, 3, 1, 2, 3 down. And then that's going to be a point here and a point here. And then I'm going to take the other one and go 1 left and 3 down. And then I have some more, 1, 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 1, 2, 3. And you want it to be accurate. Sometimes students get a little lazy and they want to just, draw a curve, whatever. But we want it to be accurate. So be careful on that, especially on the exam. Where's the horizontal asymptote? Right here. And then you can use the guide that we just gave you on how to find those things. The domain, oops, it just got smaller. Domain is all real numbers, we said that. And then the range, well, look at your picture. What's it going from? -3 to infinity. And then the asymptote is y equals -3. So d, you can put a note of that. D was -3, c was 1, and it shifted to the left. But that's the picture. This is what they asked us to, the information they asked us to give. So that's how it works.